Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, look, great conversation today in the chat room. Here's the dealio. If you guys want to see an increase in the value of the Iraqi dinar, then there are things that need to happen in Iraq in order for the dinar to increase in value. One of them is they have to have a stable and robust economy. And then there are things that Iraq needs to do that continues to support, stabilize, and strengthen the Iraqi dinar. And one of those big steps is joining the World Trade Organization. Now, I think I did a video in the past explaining like all the different steps that Iraq will need to take in order to strengthen the Iraqi dinar. But after chatting with like 15 of you, 16 of you over how to strengthen Iraqi dinar, so let's go over how joining the World Trade Organization is going to help Iraq and how it's going to help us as investors, all right? So let's get into this. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. Okay, so there is a lot of hoopla going on about Iraq joining the World Trade Organization, and rightfully so. This is one of the big steps that Iraq needs to take in order to rejoin the international community when it comes to trade. So I want to explain to you how joining the World Trade Organization is going to help us as investors, all right? So first of all, like I said, we want to make sure that there's a lot of support, a stability, as well as strengthening of the Iraqi dinar. So how Iraq can strengthen the Iraqi dinar. The strength of the country's currency, such as the Iraqi dinar, is influenced by various economic factors and policies. Here are some strategies that Iraq could consider to strengthen its currency. Economic stability, controlling inflation, reducing unemployment, and promoting sustainable economic growth. We know their inflation is under control. They're doing all they can to reduce unemployment, but my concern is they need to do more to employ the youth in Iraq, because when they get restless, they make life hell over there for everybody else. Iraq needs to make sure that they do all they can to make sure that the youth is employed. Promoting sustainable economic growth, joining the World Trade Organization will be one of those steps. Diversification of economy. Well, we know Iraq relies way too much on oil to generate the revenue for the country. So they need to be more just diversified. And we see them currently working on that. You know, we saw an article yesterday when they were talking about wheat. So the more they can get into agriculture and other non-oil revenues, the better. So diversifying its economy and developing other sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. This helps Iraq reduce its dependency on oil and creates a more stable economic base. Fiscal discipline. This involves managing government spending, reducing budget deficits, and improving public financial management. I think the fact that they've opened up a wealth fund like Kuwait has is going to be a big help. And they need that for a rainy day. If they can build that up enough, then if they fall short on their budgets and it becomes a deficit, they have something else to rely on to cover the deficit other than borrowing. And they've taken that step already. Strengthening institutions. Building strong institutions that promote transparency, accountability, and good governance is essential for economic development and currency stability. Improving the rule of law, combating corruption, and enhancing regulatory frameworks can create a more conducive environment for business and investment in Iraq. Well, we know that the United Nations was just recently busted for taking bribes. You know, that's the kind of thing you don't want there. It'd be too frustrating for outside investors who feel like they got to bribe everybody and their mother in order just to work there. That's not what we want. I'm glad there's an investigation taking place over in Iraq, but they also need to go after everybody, not just the people in the United Nations. Remember, the whistleblower was saying you have people in politics that you have to bribe as well. So we need to figure out who they are and get them out of office. Exchange rate policies. Iraq's exchange rate policies play a significant role in determining the value of the Iraqi dinar. Adopting appropriate exchange rate mechanisms, such as a managed float or a peg to a basket of currencies, can help maintain exchange rate stability and boost investors' confidence in the currency. That's just to strengthen the Iraqi dinar and make sure there's economic stability. Once Iraq can stand on their own 2 feet, definitely want to go into Forex or free float. Foreign reserves management. Building up adequate foreign reserves is important for supporting the value of the Iraqi dinar. So last night there was an article where they stated that they had enough foreign reserves to help them with at least 18 months of imports. When the standard is only 3 to 6 months, they're saying that they have enough foreign assets for 18 months. So they're definitely working on their foreign reserve management. So good job with Iraq. Continue to build that up. Infrastructure development. Investing in infrastructure projects such as transportation, energy, telecommunications can improve productivity, attract foreign investors, and stimulate economic growth. We know that they're definitely on their way of infrastructure development. We know there's a billion projects taking place over in Iraq, and a big chunk of it has to do with infrastructure. So by implementing these strategies effectively, Iraq can work towards strengthening the Iraqi dinar and promoting economic prosperity in the country. And of course, in turn, that benefits us as investors into the dinar. So how is joining the World Trade Organization helping Iraq achieve some of these goals? So it says Iraq stands to gain several benefits from joining the World Trade Organization, which is an international organization that deals with global rules and trade between nations. So here are some of the key advantages for Iraq. One of the primary benefits for Iraq would be to increase access to the global markets. Joining the WTO would allow Iraq to participate in international trade on a more level playing field, giving its business greater opportunities to export goods and services to other member countries. Trade facilitation. Membership into the World Trade Organization would also help streamline trade processes for Iraq, making it easier and more efficient for the country to engage in international trade. Legal framework. By joining the WTO, Iraq would be required to adhere to the organization's rules and regulations, which are designed to promote fair and transparent trade practices. This would boost investors' confidence and encourage foreign investment, which is exactly what we want to happen for Iraq. Economic growth. Participation in the global trade system through the WTO can stimulate economic growth in Iraq by promoting competition, innovation, and efficiency. Increased trade can lead to job creation, higher productivity, and overall economic development. All these things would benefit Iraq in a big way. This would promote economic stability as well as job creation. In turn, would strengthen the Iraqi dinar, is what we want. Joining the World Trade Organization could bring significant benefits to Iraq by opening up new opportunities for trade, improving trade facilitation process, providing a stable legal framework, fostering economic growth, enhancing capacity building efforts, and offering a mechanism for resolving trade disputes. All of these are major pluses for Iraq in strengthening their economy as well as the dinar. So how Iraq joining the WTO would strengthen the Iraqi dinar? And it's real simple. Increase foreign investment, access to global markets. Joining the WTO would potentially increase the demand for the Iraqi dinar. Think supply and demand. And enhance economic stability. All of these things play a key part in strengthening the economy and stabilizing it over in Iraq, as well as the Iraqi dinar. Official, the issue of Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization is coming soon. When they say issue, it makes you think there's a problem. The Undersecretary of the Minister of Commerce on Tuesday considered the issues of Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization was imminent, while he stressed that the current federal government would achieve self-sufficiency and not depend on the importers. This came during his hosting of a discussion session on the sidelines of the 7th session of activities of the 3rd day of Al Rafidian Forum 2024. So Al-Jabari said during the hosting that the governmental curriculum developed by the Iraqi government is based on a strategy to keep pace with the development taking place in the global economy as the government signed bilateral international memorandums of understanding in the field of trade and economics. So probably over the last 2 years, we saw Iraq do that a lot. They ran around signing memorandums of understanding with different countries when it came to trade. Basically, they were preparing to join the World Trade Organization. As soon as they are member states, then you're going to see trade take off right away. He stressed that Iraq is seeking to enter the World Trade Organization, and the issue is coming soon. I don't know why they call it an issue. It's not an issue. Their session is coming up soon. The Iraqi government officials spoke about the issue of import and export, saying there is no trade balance between exported and imported materials, as the monetary mass was going to other countries, and this was what the current government seeks to address by relying on self-sufficiency. Essentially, what Iraq would be doing is taking over their own responsibilities when it comes to trades. We know that everything they do, they got to run through the United States, and I think they're more than ready to get away from that crap. At the beginning of 2024, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia announced its support for Iraq's accession into the World Trade Organization, especially after the political obstacles that prevented it were removed. So they definitely paved the way for Iraq to make it into the World Trade Organization. The Saudi Arabia putting their stamp of approval on this accession. In my opinion, they were signaling to other nations to go ahead and approve Iraq becoming a member of the World Trade Organization. So, do you get why this is such a big deal? Remember, what we want is a valuable Iraqi dinar. And Iraq having a stabilized economy will go a long ways to strengthening the Iraqi dinar. Anyways, I hope that helps. I look forward to your comments. I'll catch you later. I'm out.